What's up, guys? This is John Helton here, host of the Real Deal Combat Sports Show. Live, everything in between, the worldwide leader, absolutely nothing. So, guys, we're joined here tonight, and we really appreciate you coming by and being willing to do the show. We got some guys from CATZ Gym. We got Kevin Stamper on the end, and we got Travis Pennington. Guys, welcome to the show. We appreciate
y'all coming.
Thank y'all having us up. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we want to have people who are actively involved in whether it's youth grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA. We want to have people on the show, and we've had a good time with this so far. I mean, we're just discussing MMA, having fun. But things are lining out for February. Had Viper Pit on the show there the other day, and those guys are doing a good job down there. And they've got, I think February's coming out. They've got, I think Donald said,
we've got about 10
guys, man, on a fight card. I mean, 10 guys that will be fighting MMA, and one of them, as things go now, will be fighting Travis Pennington. So, Travis, how do you feel about this fight, buddy?
I feel like Jared's a tough opponent. Definitely not underestimating him. Nothing but respect. I've already seen him out in public.
No doubt.
We already kind of talked about it. There's no bad blood between us. This is, it's the fight game. Everybody wants to hop up a fight like pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants some animosity. They want people going after each other.
That's right.
Seems like everybody's trying to turn it into take away the fight biz and add the show biz. But I'm looking forward to this fight. This is something, man, that when it first broke that he'd hurt his arm or whatever that issue was, I got pretty disappointed about it. Not gonna lie, that was my little boy was on the card, but as far as the actual fight show, that was the fight I was wanting to see. But thankfully had the 170 guy step up, which was huge. This guy was a top-notch guy, big-time wrestler, undefeated. Stepped up and still fought Travis. So much respect to that guy.
Yeah, that guy stepping up just to take that fight. Anybody that fights and steps in that cage has got a lot of heart. And being around this stuff for so long, when you see guys walk in that cage, and especially like if you're sitting corner side, I've had that view many times. I wondered what they're feeling at that moment. And I always say, hey, try to tell them something, but you can tell that their adrenaline's going so much that sometimes I even wonder if they hear what I say. But then again,
I'm not fought as much as.
I think some of it gets through, but when that fight gets going, it's evident that they're just so focused in the fight that you'd have to be. They'd have to be pretty close to actually get instruction from you in the corner, and that's. But the feeling of getting in there, I think props to anybody that steps in that cage. It is very dangerous, and I don't think people. A lot of the fans.
I don't think they have enough respect for the fight.
I don't think they understand how dangerous the fight is. You can get killed in the cage.
It's easy to talk from the outside, man. Like I've not had as many fights as Travis or most of these guys, but I've been in there a few times, man. And the thing that always got me was going to a show, not fighting, and sitting in the stands. And I'm watching these guys who people pay money. People pay money to come watch what we do. And then you got some guy who probably has never trained before in his life. He's sitting 3 rows behind me, and he's talking about what he would do if he was in there. There's been many a times I've turned around and said, up until the commission took over, I used my favorite quote was, man, it's free. It don't cost a thing to do it if you think that you can do it. And that was just something that bothered me.
I agree. I feel the exact same way. I hate whenever I hear somebody else getting hated on as a fighter. If I hear a fighter getting hated on, even if they're trying to hype me up, it gets under my skin.
Yeah.
It's like you have no idea the amount of work and sacrifice and the amount of balls that it takes to get in the cage. There's something in the waiver that says, you could die. I'm agreeing not to sue if I get paralyzed. That's real.
I think what's cool about this fight is that you just take away the fact that, everybody's kind of trained together over the years. We all know each other, but what I think is cool about it is it kind of stems, it bridges together an old school versus a newer style fighter. I mean, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but Travis has been fighting a long time. He was there. What year did you start fighting in, Travis?
Probably 07.
07?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, fighting since 2007, and, now here it is. It's like 9 years later. Made his return to amateur MMA and won in absolutely dominating fashion with one of the most spectacular kicks that has been displayed in mixed martial arts. I mean, even at the UFC level, it was a great display of technique and focus, to be able to execute like that.
In all my years of fighting, man, like I started fighting in probably 07, about the same time Travis did, maybe.
You all used to fight back at the same time.
Yeah, like I remember.
Because the
pioneer days.
I've heard, stories about
Jump rope story. I'll never forget that, man.
That's a funny story, but that was back when things were a lot different, and at this time in my life, what was I doing? I was training to have kids. All right, but I was doing something I believed in, and so wanting to get that urge to learn to grapple and wrestle and do these things that we do now, it's unbelievable to look from then and to now and to see what all's been accomplished. I mean, just if you look at around the town at all the fighters and all the people and all the kids and the adults and everybody that's doing this stuff, and then guys like Travis who's still around. How old are you now, Travis?
29.
29. So you're 29, not broke 30 yet. So you've got life and you left, and I think that Jared is a solid fighter.
It's tough.
And I think that this is going to be a really good fight and a really good test of skill, and I think it'll be made in training. That's what I believe.
For sure. My question, just even as a fan of local MMA, I take a lot of time out and just sit down and think about like style matchups, these big fights that's coming up like this one. And, heavy hands. Jared's got some heavy hands. He's displayed that. He throws hard. I'm not too familiar with his background as far as grappling. I don't know, if he had any previous wrestling experience. Travis,
I don't think he did. I think he's learned to grapple just through mixed martial arts training. And Donald and Stone and Ken, when they were on the show, said he's just really hard to hold down, and just a strong guy. And then they were kind of making fun of him, because he's so short, but it makes it kind of tough to hold him down, I guess.
Right, no doubt. My thing I want to ask Travis, is you're obviously a very high level amateur. Like it's no secret they're having a hard time finding any fights at the amateur level. You may not want to answer this question on the show, but is there anything as far as training goes? Do you train the same way for every fighter? Will there be something that you'll be doing different, particularly for this fight? Maybe training more against his style or what he likes to do, or is it just, hey, I'm not really worried about what he's going to do. I want to make him worry about what Travis is going to do. Do you have that mindset?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It's like I still want to, focus on my game plan, but in the back of my head, I have to think about what he's going to do.
Yeah,
so I kind of have to find somebody to, imitate his style, his strengths.
No doubt.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And how much has Rob Nickerson helped with your preparation?
Oh yeah, Rob's helped a lot. He's been, right by my side. He's came in, helped with my training camp.
When I was there in Bryant, when I was taking his hands, he was there with you.
Yeah.
And he was, he was there, and I knew he was talking to you, giving just that intimate time that a coach gets with his fighter, and that's a special time.
Yeah.
Like when you get your hands taped up. I mean, I've always, when I've cornered anybody and taping their hands, I always just like to try to calm them down. Does he do a good job of that and just sort of focusing you in?
Yeah, especially it's game day, you put in all the work, so just kind of getting your mind right, getting your mentality.
Yes, sir.
Training with Rob seems like it bring almost a level of peace. That's something that
calm before the storm.
Yeah, in my opinion, he is definitely reaction. Definitely one of the top MMA schools.
Oh yeah, we talked
in the
about
state.
that.
We talked about that a lot.
About every show, we have talked about reaction, and that goes back a long time. You know, reaction has been around a long time, and everybody that Rob has had a touch on has done well.
Yeah, you just look at the guys, man, it speaks for itself. You know, that's another thing. You know, a lot of gyms, they can talk a lot. Reaction, I give credit where it's due, man. They can speak for themselves.
No doubt. I mean, it's just you know, some gyms will produce, you know, have a big fight team, and then you know, some will win, some will lose. You know, I can't really look back in the past few years and say, well, they just had a bad fighter. I mean, you know, no fighter, in my opinion, is a bad fighter. I mean, per se, but just like a losing fighter, you know,
someone low skill.
You're right. I mean, you just don't see that a lot. I mean, I think Rob, I guess I'd be speculating a little bit, but I think before Rob puts somebody in that cage, they're damn well ready.
Yeah, he wants to make sure they're ready.
I don't think Coach would put somebody in there that wasn't. I mean, just like not putting in that I'm a professional. I'm just saying from what I've been around Rob, he doesn't want you.
He don't want you to get hurt.
Doing something.
Right.
Yeah, he don't want you to get hurt.
Respect that.
Well,
You know, no doubt.
I can completely relate to that. You know, my mentality on preparing fighters has changed so much over the last years. Me and Ryan have talked about this a lot, and I was talking about this on the show the other day. Me personally, you know, I would like to be of a much higher level than I am now before I ever sent anybody back in the cage, unless they were just like a guy going back that I really knew well, and maybe like an old school guy that's been here a while, you know. And I knew, because this is the thing, I want to make sure if anybody ever goes in there that they're not going to get hurt, you know, and that's the biggest thing. And I see that through the reaction team, that they seem like that everybody goes in and is ready to fight, and they're going to go in there and they're going to be safe.
Big point, man, that I think needs to be made. Me and Travis was talking about this not too long ago. You know, back when we started in 2007, you go to a show, you know, you're in the back. If there's 15 fighters back there, man, 12 of them had never trained a day in their life.
Yeah.
You know, they were just come out of the holler, man. They got their jeans tucked in their red wings, thinking, man, I'm going to whoop somebody. It's not so much like that now. You're getting trained guys, you're getting established guys coming from top-notch gyms, and I think a big problem or something that needs to be addressed is you got these guys who's, I'm going to be an MMA fighter now, and they think, you know, a month or two of training, they're ready to get in the cage. And with what's going on now and the level of competition, how it's raised over the years, that may not be a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
Just, I think some of these guys are jumping in too soon, or they're wanting to jump in too soon, not putting the time in, not learning the basic ground game, the basic striking that they need, and it could cause somebody to get hurt, you know, not to keep bringing it up, but going back to Travis's fight, you know, that guy was a legit, undefeated, top-notch wrestler, one of the best that you can find in the amateur division at 170 pounds. And that guy got hurt. You know, he's hurt, man. You know, I hope that he recovers. But that's the situation you put yourself in, you know.
Yeah, so February 25th?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so February 25th.
And I don't think the public too. I don't think they realize the amount of preparation that goes into it. Like,
I have no idea.
They don't.
It's
I think they just assume, you know, people go in there and they just fight. They,
No.
That they just go in and wing it, close their eyes, swing for the fences, that it's personal, that anybody could fight. You know, they just don't understand the amount of the skill you have to have on top of the conditioning. You have to be an athlete.
The nutrition, you know, these
Nutrition,
guys
so
are
many
serious.
factors.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
people they missing out on that, man. You take somebody like, you know, like Brandon Bell, Ken Beverly, you know, these guys, they're not cracking open Snicker bars and, you know, and just hanging out. These guys are sacrificing time, energy, money,
It takes
food.
a lot of preparation and, you know, just such sacrifice. So, how are you approaching this fight as far as, I mean, of course, again, you know, we don't want anybody to give away anything specific. That's not what we're asking, but mindset-wise, how do you look at fight camp? Do you have certain kind of like confidence builders that you try to do that are like inspiring you, like focus on specific goals in sparring, like tonight I'm going to do this, or tomorrow I'm going to, or do you just kind of go in there and just get it done?
Yeah, kind of. I like I'm OCD about it. Like I like to plan everything out. You know, I like to put myself in bad situations. I like to kill myself. I like being tired and trying to fight through it, adversity, because I mean you never know what's going to happen. You know, Jared, he brings a lot to the table that people don't see. You know, I think they're caught up in the image. You know, but the image is nothing. You know, it's an illusion. You know, it makes him remarkable. But at the end of the day, he is an athlete. He's strong. He's fast. You know, I've seen some of his other fights. He's technical. You know, he has some pretty good jiu-jitsu.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know,
I mean, he's 4-0. He's 4-0, and you know, his last win was a good win, and he's done a boxing match that he won. So Jared's a top-notch amateur fighter that's going to be fighting another top-notch amateur fighter, and it's definitely going to be a ticket you do not want to miss. I think that I personally feel like this February 25th card coming up is going to be one of, if not the best fight card that Hazard's had.
Little slick back on the card. If wrestling's over with, Jimbo doesn't know Maddox is wanting to defend. As far as I know now, wrestling state tournament's February 5th, so that should work out well. Hopefully get that back on the card. Yeah.
Good deal. So if Maddox is there, that's going to have all three of the gyms here in Hazard: Top Fight Academy, CATZ Gym, and Viper Pit MMA. They're at Warrior FC. And here it's going to be held here in Hazard, so you have no excuse. Get out there and get on.
Buy your ticket early.
And buy it off of these fighters that sell them too. That helps a lot.
Maddox always sells his ticket under Travis, so if you're coming to watch Maddox, we will get those tickets. You need to get them.
No doubt, no doubt. So, big fight, Travis Pennington, Jared Short. It's going down. So you've heard it from both sides of the spectrum there. It's confirmed it's going down. Hopefully nothing happens, and hopefully Jared Shoulder gets 100%, because I know Travis don't want to fight a guy that's hurt or anything. He's not that kind of guy. He just wants. All right, guys, so welcome back to segment 2 of the Real Deal Combat Sports Show. Again, we're back here with Travis Pennington and Kevin Stamper representing CATZ Gym. We've been discussing the big show coming up February 25th here in Hazard. Travis Pennington will be fighting Jared Short to unify the 185 belt.
Right.
The 185 belt will be unified come February 25th. And moving on to some other news. Fedor signs with Bellator. Is that correct?
That is the new thing, man. That's what's going down.
That's the word.
That's huge for Bellator.
That's big.
We was talking on the last show, and the UFC starting to do it. You know, they're going from fight biz to show biz. You know, you look at Khabib, that situation. That guy's 25-0 now, I think.
Khabib needs to fight.
You know, if you're looking at you're looking at straight fight business, there's no denying that man a title. But it's apparently it's not about that. Well, it's going to show business.
I mean, you know, Khabib is proved he's 24-0, 16 wins by finish.
Yeah.
He's a Sambo expert, black belt in judo, wrestling freak. I mean, he's got heavy hands. He's aggressive, man. That's what I like about Khabib. And he's a stylistic nightmare for about anybody. I think he deserves a shot.
He deserves a shot.
He deserves a shot. You know, I mean, so.
Yeah.
What he did his last fight, man, is scary if you think about it. We was talking about the nerves earlier. This guy was laying a beating down and telling his opponent basically, yeah, man, you just need to quit. You know,
Please stop.
And then in between the rounds, you got enough about him. He's not even worried about what's going on. He doesn't know that's over. He's going to Dana White saying, "Give me a title shot, man." You know, so and that's where I feel like if Bellator keeps going the way they're going, could we see Bellator eventually become just as big as the UFC?
I think Legacy and Bellator are bringing great fights. And they've got some good, you know, Legacy, not to the extent as Bellator, but Legacy's good, man.
And I'm just going to say it right here on the show. Say it right to their face. Reebok sucks balls. I swear to God they do.
That's what a god Reebok.
I swear I said it right in cursive, man. Reebok is paying terrible for the fight game, man. $2,500.
That's pitiful.
I mean,
For everyone.
yeah.
For everyone.
I think not Little Nog or Big Nog. Little Nog, I think, fought there. He made $5,000, and the rest of them got $2,500, and Nog lost. You know, I mean. Look at
that pay is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, man.
I mean, you're talking. Okay, UFC is the NFL, the NBA, the MLB of fighting. Okay, the salary discrepancy
Dude,
between
it's
the two is
$7,000,
unreal.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you know, you've got basketball players out here.
$250,000 league
One
minimum.
Kevin Durant, man, he signs with the Warriors.
Dude,
It's like millions of dollars for 2 years.
Dude, the league minimum in the NBA, the league minimum, if you sit on the end of the bench and don't do nothing but get water, is $250,000.
Look how much like the big time boxers make.
Dude, Keith Jardine knocked out Chuck Liddell and got $14,000. He got he got 28,000. He got 14 to show.
Yeah.
To fight Chuck, he got 14 more for knocking him out. Chuck Liddell got $500,000.
I think that-
man, that's nuts.
That's
That's
crazy.
nuts.
So I think it shapes where it's going because you know you're not going to have great fighters go to these shows if they're not going to get paid, and that's exactly what Travis Stevens said. You know, Olympian judo player, awesome judo guy from he representing the United States, trains out of Jimmy Pedro's gym up there in the Northeast. Great judo player, Enzo Gracie black belt as well. You know, he's got a game that could easily go to a big MMA show, and he just flat out said, you know,
Why would I?
why would I? You know, I'm not. The money that they pay right now is just.
You take a guy like Jordan Groves. You take a guy like Jordan Groves, okay, 2012 Olympic champion, one of the best wrestlers in the world. That guy can make more money doing seminars and camps all year round than what he could to fight UFC. Because think about some of these guys in UFC, man, they're not fighting but once or twice a year. If they're getting the minimum of 7,000, I think it is, or something like that, on these undercard fights, if they're fighting one time a year, you know, $7,000, man, so, you know, that's no money.
Yeah, I think one thing like GSP is kind of wanting to do is, you know, kind of unionize the fighters so they can kind of come in and, and you know, to kind of get a agreement coming that they should at least make a certain amount.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with GSP, you know, exiting the stage there, so to speak. You know, I think he saw the money, and I think that's what Connor's doing.
Yeah.
Connor knows how much money has been
$4.3
made, and he's saying, you know what?
He's wanting Mayweather money.
Voting himself, for sure.
Voting himself, yeah.
He's wanting Mayweather money.
Yeah.
And you know, if you think about it, the company sold for $4.3 billion. Sometimes we don't really understand how much money that is. $4.3 billion. And some of these guys are getting 7,000. Yeah, man, I can see the frustration. I can see Connor, because Connor, it just released, I'd have to check facts. Outsold last pay-per-view, GSP and Brock Lesnar combined. Count total pay-per-view buys and gate.
Wow.
He outsold GSP and Brock Lesnar combined. So, I mean, he's brought it to another level. And I mean, I'm kind of a fan. I always pull for Nate Diaz over him, but the guy's got. I mean, I do, man. I'm a Nate Diaz guy. I got to shout out to him now.
I mean,
But the guy's knocking people out. He's almost predicting what round he's going to do it. Give the guy some money, man, because honestly, if he decides to pack up, you're going to see a major drop in gate and pay-per-view buys.
Yeah,
I got a
everybody
quick
wants to see
question here.
if I want to see Conor
lose.
McGregor,
Yeah,
no
I
matter
think a
what.
lot of people pay seeing his head knocked off.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
would.
saying. People would pay to see him
That's
lose.
They wouldn't. I would.
Yeah.
Kevin, I got a question for Kevin. So, how long have you been training now?
I'm gonna go 2 years. Solid, right, Trev?
Definitely over a year for sure, maybe a year, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Year and a half.
So your experience, you coach Travis here and Rob Nickerson. Tell me, tell the viewers, just as a new guy, you know, that's came in. What's it done for you? What's it done for you?
I'm glad you asked that, John. I actually wanted to touch on that, and you and Travis will agree. Like coming into this, like I know we started like in a garage. I started in Travis' garage. I actually trained for, well, not trained. I worked out for me and a couple other guys. We worked out at a gym in Leslie County for 6 months or 8 months before we even come to train with Travis Pennington.
When was this?
Because we were, 2015, 14, maybe 13. We just, like I said, we're just working out now. I wanted to work out. I was like, dude, Travis Pennington will kill me.
Did
I
you
will
ever
die.
train with Chris Coots?
Some, yeah. He was
Did you?
good. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
good.
that's cool because Chris used to train right.
He was but anyway, not to come off track, but like when we come to Travis killed us. I mean, I was like, man, this is terrible. I loved it. And then one day it was like, you know, what about, you know, what MMA was, you know, what's, and I'm sitting there going, man, I can't do this. I can't do this. Travis like, you can. That's the problem. You can do it.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
Everybody can do it.
Jiu-jitsu
And
for everybody.
Jiu-jitsu was
It's
And
universal.
that was just like, that was it. And I started,
That's
you know.
awesome. So
Bones.
it's been a life changer for you.
I mean, completely. And like I said, nobody knows how great that. Nobody knows again the feeling that this sport gives you.
It is awesome.
It's amazing. I mean, and nothing. And people don't understand the best feeling of the day is seeing a new guy come through that door.
Oh, no doubt.
That's the best. I mean, and people's afraid of it. Do not be afraid of it.
Especially when you see them come back.
When you see them come back, I mean, it's just like.
People who do it stay with it, man.
That's the best feeling. I want to invite everybody, like I said, just try it, please.
Just try it.
I mean,
I don't know how many videos out on Facebook or put posts out. If you don't come here, go somewhere else. Go to CATZ gym and train. Go to Viper Pit and train. I don't care where you go.
Just try
train. Get out there and train and experience it. And you know, so maybe one gym is not tailored to you, but that you know, find a gym that suits your needs and get out there and train, because it is life changing. Get your kids into
Your
that.
kids. Yes, I wish I knew about this 10 years ago.
And also, if you're part of the county schools, you know, you've got the wrestling program that Major Corey runs, and so you know, if you're part of Perry County schools, you've got that. Pikeville, a lot of other Warhawks, they've got a great program. Wrestling is a great. Wrestling is a great place to start your kids out in. It's amazing what wrestling can do for a child's self-confidence. And
Anti-bullying.
Anti-bullying, yes.
I mean, you teach your kid how to wrestle or do jiu-jitsu, box a little bit. I mean, it's, you know, the thing is, they don't get into fights.
No, they don't.
You know,
people get away from them.
Kids
People don't want to take their lunch money.
Yeah.
They don't want to take their friends' lunch money.
Nothing.
They
get
walk
respect.
into school so confident that it just beams off of them, and I think that they just don't get in fights because kids know.
Man, I gotta share something. I do. I've not told a lot of people this. The other day, I was watching Maddox. There's a couple of them. This little kid kept picking on one of Max's buddies. He didn't know I was watching. I was probably, I don't know, man, 30 foot, 40 foot away, and I'm just kind of watching to see what's going on. Maddox tells that kid to stop it. And the kid, real hateful, looks at Maddox and says, "You're not my boss." Maddox very calmly just drops his hands and looks at him and says, "If you keep doing what you're doing, I will be." And dude, I thought, man, that comes from jiu-jitsu. He didn't, you know, he could have went over and pushed the kid. He just gave him a warning, and he done it calmly. And I think the confidence that he showed, the way he said that, lets me know that, man, Top Fight is doing Top Fight Academy, jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, everything that I've invested my time, money, and effort in, it's paying off because he had enough about him to remain calm, to let that kid know if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going on. And it stopped.
It doesn't turn kids into bullies. It makes them respect stuff.
That's one of the biggest
things. It teaches you respect. It's anti-bullying.
It's anti-bully.
They're not going looking for trouble.
And thankfully the kid stopped, and 15 minutes later, the bully who was picking on, you know, the other kid, they're all playing, having a good time.
It's over with.
It's over with. You know.
And he's like, I better not do that again.
And I think it just took for somebody to say, "Hey, you're not going to do us anymore like that." And I've seen that I've seen that in here in the gym in practice. You know, you have a little kid get aggravated, and another kid, man, Caleb steps up all the time, helps, man. I mean, I see these things all the time, and it's just good to see kids doing what they're supposed to do.
Well, you know, kids that train are just different. They're a different breed, and they grow up with such respect, and they I think they truly understand what sacrifice is at such a young age that by the time they become adults, you know, there's that wrestling meme that you see on Facebook from time to time. You know, a coachable kid is an employable kid.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so true. I think. I mean, not in all cases. There's always going to be some sort of strange variable out there, but. In most cases, a kid that can be coached and will listen, by the time he reaches adulthood, will be a very, very employable person, and they will succeed in life, and that's no doubt. So that's the big picture.
Yeah.
So you know, get them out there and get them into it, and you know, guys, it's a pleasure having you guys here. We appreciate it. You know, this show we just kind of started as a side job, just a fun thing, but it's still a fun thing. We
build up so much. We got somebody else's table. I'm still not sure. Nobody's never told me if this is our table.
We don't know.
It's squatter rights now at your house.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like possession.
There's like, ain't there like a rule, like if, I know it is with
not
property,
claimed.
like if
It's
somebody
claimed.
claims it in a certain amount of days.
I mean,
it's
Walking
ours.
Dead, it works on Walking Dead.
This is ours.
Claimed.
We're competing with Walking Dead now pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like Ryan pointed out the night, you know, we put this show out, the NFL kind of.
The ratings
The
are
ratings
going
go
down.
went down a little bit,
People
so-
won't blame it on Kaepernick, but
I don't know.
She West Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, if you Joe. Oh, yeah.
I
I'm not talking about Joe
that.
Rogan. I'm not calling Joe Rogan.
Like Ryan
This is
said,
who we
no,
shot.
we're not taking any bong hits.
No.
Well, you can see under the table,
Yeah.
no bombs. But guys, real thank you for being out. 10-second bell. Anything anybody's got to add?
Man, big show coming up.
February 25th.
February, I'm pumped.
Travis comes here. All respect, shows nothing but respect to Jared. Vice President, nothing but say but respect. So they said, you know, if any drama's made, it'll be from the fans or somebody else. You know, so
Awesome. That's what we like.
hopefully that's what happens.
Yeah, it's
and,
just a sport.
It just-
it's not two people fighting because they're mad at each other. It's a sport. There's skill involved in athleticism. It's a combination of the two. It's
Heard it
what you've
here.
been practicing, and you get to go out and show in front of everybody. You know, it's nothing personal. My closest friends are my sparring partners. I fight with them all the time. They're my closest friends. It's nothing to do with it.
you know,
Hey.
Real Deal Combat Sports Show, lies, truth, everything in between. The worldwide leader in absolutely nothing.